SDLC was designed around having meetings and management and control. So here's the thing, why did it change? So SDLC was time consuming, it wasn't flexible, it came at a very high cost. In some projects you would have months, if not longer, of just your feasibility stage to figure out and to analyze all the information before you present a business case for approval. It had a rigid process. The process involved with SDLC was always really strict governance. Anything that changed, you needed to go for approval. There's now change. And the irony of all of this is the plan was nearly never realistic. Who compiled the plan? Who compiled all this information? It was the sponsor, the project manager, etc. The real experts was still to become part of the team. The real experts would only be employed or appointed after the approval of the funding and the project kickoff. Now, of course, it's logical the plan will change, because the more detailed requirements you get and the detailed design is done, you find out more about the project, you find out more about what you're doing, things will change. Control was the focus. And people will debate with me on this and say, no, it wasn't. I am actually really convinced that control was the focus. So please don't step over the time duration. Don't step outside scope. If you trigger this, there needs to be a change request. Please just don't do stuff that you're not supposed to do. Only do that. So there was a lot of control, that was the focus. Output of information. For example, business requirement documents would be standardized. It must contain the following information. The plan was driven from the top down. The top down idea means the person, that the sponsor, would often use the stick of I'm accountable and therefore you shall. The problem is it's one person at the top whose idea and concept gets forced down onto the experts. Ironically, the experts would often disagree, but they will say nothing because they are in a robotic state. What do I mean with robotic state? What you have is you have expert people sitting in your team that actually knows what to do, how to do it. These people are the experts, but they are not allowed to give their opinions, because there's a plan, there is a scope, and this is what you're supposed to do, and it's all coming down from one person at the top pushing it down on the rest. Not a very great idea if you want to innovate.